Okay, we're back. We're live. It's Friday. It's 11 o'clock. We are delighted to have Danielle Finn. She is Vice President of Commercial Lines. We are delighted to talk to them about commercial lines at DTRIC Insurance. Welcome to the show, Danielle.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, I told you before, I never met a Danielle I didn't like.
Well, good. We're off to a good start.
I want to break my streak here.
Right.
So let's see. This is Community Matters because it does. Okay, and also we have to come up with a name. I was going to think commercial insurance is not for sissies. Nah.
No, that's definitely
like that?
true.
Okay.
You have to have a strong will and a good stomach. Put it that
true.
way.
But people don't realize how important it is, and I want to discuss that with you, among other things. A lot of people, live in a kind of non-commercial world.
Right.
Their life is a sort of a channel which doesn't involve commercial risks or
Right.
commercial issues. And, if you're going to be in business, even a little wee business, you got to have commercial insurance.
That's right.
A lot of people don't know, and they really need advice and consultation on this. They need to know the products. That's why we're here. Can we talk about some new products? And hopefully,
Exactly.
in explaining the new products, we'll learn about how you define products.
Okay.
What a good product is and how insurance companies think about products and why, they are trying to stamp out risk.
Right.
Stamping out risk. I like that
That's
one
right.
too. Commercial insurance, stamping out risk.
Exactly. Protecting your investment in your business.
Okay, so let's talk about DTRIC. What is DTRIC?
Okay, DTRIC is a local insurance company. Really pride ourselves in being a local insurance company. We understand the local market. We like to say that we are our customers' customers. So when you're doing business in Hawaii, it's very special and unique in that we all know each other, the business community, we know each other's families. So when you're making decisions on insurance products, we take that into account. So DTRIC is a special little company, very creative and innovative, as we'll talk about, and really is there to service the local community.
Yeah, and this issue comes up so often. I mean, yesterday we talked about United Parcel Service, UPS. It came down, and he was explaining to the general manager of the deliveries in this division. And he was explaining how their delivery people, go into the community and they know the people they deliver to. They listen to the stories. It's like a bartender, I guess.
Yes, exactly.
What's on your mind? Tell me.
Right.
I'm your friendly delivery man. And as a result, there's a bond up between those UPS delivery guys and then we have issues like in Nextera with the with energy. The people really would prefer, and I think this is probably going to come out over and over again, a local company who understands them rather than management in a faraway place. I'm not saying right or wrong, I wouldn't take a position. In fact, there's a lot of good reasons to have Nextera, but it shows you that people are interested in local because local understands them.
That's right. That's right. And at DTRIC, as I said, we partner with our clients and we really design programs that meet their individual needs. So when you're a commercial client, whether we're doing your workers' comp, your property, your casualty insurance, your auto, we will send our loss control people out along with our agency partners and design a program so that we can keep their exposures low, put solutions into place to help keep their loss costs down. Because obviously what we want to do is provide very good service, excellent coverage at an affordable price. So really tailor it to each client's needs and knowing the client.
Service, you mean service on advising them, but also service on handling their claims, yeah?
Absolutely, because when the rubber meets the road in insurance, it's when your customer has a claim, and that's where I think we can step up. We are here locally, we can get right out if a client has a fire, car accident, we're here, we're able to service them. We don't have to wait for someone to come from the mainland.
So background, what other kinds of insurance does DTRIC carry?
We do personal auto, homeowners. On the commercial side, we property, as I said, liability, cover your business income. We do your commercial auto risk. And we've just launched a new product called DTRIC Cyber One.
I want to talk about that.
Okay.
But first, you do E&O and D&O and all that?
We do not do E&O or D&O.
Okay, maybe times have changed. I mean, there was changes in the law that might affect them. Anyway, okay, so we're talking about cyber product that's very advanced that you should say that, Danielle. What is a cyber product?
Okay, well, we're very proud to be the first local Hawaiian insurance company to offer it to our clients, and it comes in two parts. It's the data compromise coverage along with the cyber liability coverage. And we've all heard in the news recently about all these hacking. I think just yesterday it came out about Trump, the Target. Those are big companies, and
You feel bad for him? Never mind.
I don't. Yeah, we won't go into the political side. That's not what we're here for. But all day, every day, hackers from all over the world are trying to breach company systems, and they're very astute. And they've learned that the big companies that have huge dedicated IT teams are very good at stopping it. So what they're trying to do now...
Except Sony.
Except Sony. I bet you Sony's pretty good right now.
Oh, yeah, they're really good now.
Yeah, they're really good now. So these hackers are targeting the small to medium business owner. And
Is that right? Is that what happens?
That's right, because they're less
It's
sophisticated.
so mean.
It's
That's
so mean. But any business that's taking people's credit card information, any personal identifying information, and it gets breached, our product covers such things as notification expense, which is very important in the state of Hawaii, because Hawaii is one of 48 states that requires businesses that get hacked and people's credit card information is taken to notify the public. And because we're a tourism state, you don't just need to comply with the laws of Hawaii. Wherever the person is from whose credit card was taken, you need to comply with their state laws. So we provide that expertise, could come in there. Another thing we do is provide some public relations coverage. So
Very important.
Very important, because your reputation as a business is number one.
Yeah, you've been besmirched, and you look bad, and you have to have a stiff upper lip and deal with it.
Right.
And it's not that easy. For most people, it shows how upset they are, and you can't be upset about it.
That's right. That's right. And for, the small business owner, a $25,000 expense to cover that, or to recreate the data, provide credit monitoring services is a lot of money. It can have a huge impact on their bottom line.
Wow. Now, commercial insurance and this kind of new product, is this a substantial part of DTRIC's, array of products? Or is it, where does the weight fit? Where do you put the weight?
It's a very small part of our products, but we believe in adding value-added products.
Yeah.
And therefore, we're not expecting to write a large amount of premium on it, but we felt there was a great need for this coverage to protect the businesses in Hawaii, and so we added it on. And
well, I think this is a great product, actually, and I can tell you from my own observation that there's an awful lot of hacking going on. There's going to be more hacking. It's going to be more pernicious, more nasty, and do more damage. And to a small business which, has a thin margin and a thin skin, if you will.
That's right.
You can't afford to take this loss. You have to be protected. I'm glad. I'm sorry that it's gone that way, but I'm glad you're doing this. Is this competitive? I mean, other companies offering the same kind of product about what do you call it? Cyber One.
Not locally. There are products on the mainland from mainland corporations, but they're very expensive. They oftentimes require a very large deductible, and so for the average day-to-day small to medium business owner, you got to weigh the cost with the risk and decide if that's something you're going to purchase. With us, it's very affordable. I mean,
that's great.
People have been asking me. I think for the majority of our customers, for the data comp, it's $128 a year to add on. That's for a basic $50,000 limit.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And
so and not only that, but it's not, confirmed for me that if there's a claim, when there's a claim, you're going to provide them with local expertise rather than putting them off to somebody in Milwaukee.
Yes,
For a PR firm, for example, would be a local firm because the
Right.
issue is local, you know?
Right. We will have our claims, and we also have backing from huge corporations on the mainland that are experts in dealing with IT, identifying malware, whatever we need. But they will be dealing directly with DTRIC through every transaction. We'll hold their hands all the way, and we will bring in experts in the areas when we need
This is
them.
very valuable. I hope that's enough for you to make some money on it.
I hope so, but like we
One
said.
good claim is going to hurt you, too.
Exactly. But we felt it was so important that we wanted to put it out there. So.
Yeah, good work. Okay, we take a short break, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about another product called Akamai Raider.
Okay.
It sounds like a computer game. Akamai
Kind of
Raider.
is.
Yeah. I'm going to spell it for you when we come back.
Hi, I'm Donna Blanchard. I'm the host of Center Stage here on ThinkTech Hawaii. Center Stage airs every Wednesday at 2 o'clock, and of course you can check out our archives on YouTube or on ThinkTech Hawaii anytime you like. Why should you do that? Because this is an arts show that I believe is making a difference in lives. We talk with artists of various ilk. We talk with painters and writers, playwrights, novelists, poets, sculptors, dancers, you name it, directors, actors, of course. And we don't only talk about what people do, but we talk about how they do it. And my favorite part of the conversation, we talk about why they do it. And it's really common on this show to hear people say, wow, I didn't think about it that way. And it's very common to hear people afterwards who have seen the show say the same thing. And I hear all the time that people are inspired by the conversations that we have. So why don't you join us and be inspired too? That's Center Stage on Wednesdays at 2 o'clock. We'll see you Center Stage.
Okay, Danielle Finn, Vice President of Commercial Lines, DTRIC Insurance, local company, doing local coverage, really like that. So the other product, you know, and this is also a tech product. We like tech. Tech is our middle name.
That's
actually.
right.
Is Akamai Raider, and I'll spell it R-A-T-E-R. It's not R-A-I-D-E-R. That'd be the computer game.
That's right.
Okay, what is it?
Okay, so Akamai Raider is a usage-based insurance product, it's called. And it's for our personal lines automobile. It's available through our contact center. And people can call in and get a quote, and how you drive is how you save. So plugs in, it measures things such as hard braking, speeding, how many miles, what time of day, and then it runs it through a computer model. And if you're a good driver, you save insurance premium. Not so good driver, your rate might go up a little. So really, it measures how you drive. So it's a good reflection of when you're driving, you're a good, courteous driver, you could save money on your personal auto insurance.
Oh, I have many questions.
Okay,
Now, when
I'll
we
try
get
to answer them.
automatic cars, you know, drive themselves, isn't going to work anymore.
Right.
Because the conduct of the car is actually created by the computer instead of read by it. But I mean, it's interesting that one day that it'll be in reverse, right? The chip will drive the car rather than find out how the car is being driven.
That's right. That's going to open up a whole. Oh, can you imagine?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sure there'll be plenty of interesting legal and insurance questions about
Absolutely.
automatic cars, yeah. But it's coming. Anyway, so, okay, this thing is like a USB kind of thing?
Yeah, it's a little device. I think they probably have a picture of it
Well,
up
we have
on
a
the
picture of it?
screen.
Let's see if we can get a picture. Okay, there it is.
Oh, right.
Sign up,
There it
plug
is.
in, start saving. Oh, that's pretty good.
Right, so every vehicle has a little slot you just plug it into. And it will start measuring your driving habits, and you can go online and you can check your score and sign in, and then after the first 60 days of using the product, your score will come out, and we can even adjust your rate a little if
This
you
is really
scored high.
interesting. It
If
was
you get an A.
Great motivational feature, you know, it's like Big Brother is in the car, your friendly carrier is in the car with you,
Right.
watching you drive. So there's a little box, and the box connects to the car. and the box is reading all those sensors and all these things that cars now have. If I have an old car, it's going to work. It's not going to work, right?
I don't have the exact year, but I think you can go back pretty far,
Okay.
actually.
Okay. Now, then the little box is reading those sensors and it's making decisions, or at least it's establishing the data to make those. Okay, and it's doing computing of some kind. Okay, how does the result of its interpretation get back to you?
Feeds through the World Wide Web and comes across into our system. Now, we don't see exactly, it measures all kinds of things. So if you're a parent and want your teenager to have it in the car, you will have access to where your teenager's driving, how they're driving. Ooh. We don't get all of that personal information. Calculates, gives us a score, and that's how we determine your premium.
Okay, so the score is sent back by wireless.
Yes, there is. We work with a third-party partner that makes the device and gives us the reading and the information. It's all very private, as I said, and we just get your score.
So there has to be wireless nodes, right? Somewhere, it has to connect somewhere.
Exactly how it all works with the electronics and the connection, not my forte.
Okay, yeah. But I can guess possibilities, so I'm sure that's doable. Okay, and then this gets on wireless, goes back to you by wireless, and your machinery there, your computers there, are going to interpret that. Mm-hmm. And you have an algorithm that says, oh, he's a pretty good driver, and therefore, we're going to give him a reduction.
Yes.
And so that's really terrific. It's an incentive, big time incentive to me to drive carefully. Now, what about suppose I'm a really bad driver? Are you going to raise my rates?
Well, I think when you sign up for the Akamai Rater, there is a discount, and then I think that if you do not perform,
okay,
the discount, or we will put you in a more appropriate rating tier for your driving habits. How about that?
Well, it's only
but
fair.
All of our customers are good drivers.
Well,
so.
After they get the box, they are anyway.
Yes.
Now, suppose the information never gets back to you. Suppose I have put some tin foil around the little box. Or worse yet, I have hacked the little box. Yeah.
We haven't encountered that problem with our current Akamai Rater customers, but I think then we would probably go back to the device people and see what happens, because I think people are going to want the discounts that they earn.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is that if you are communicating by wireless at some frequency in some way, and all of a sudden, no communication, then you need to be concerned that it got disconnected in some fashion, and you need to reconnect it. And I suppose at that point, there's another email that goes out to the customer, and it says, we need you to connect this thing.
Yes, I think that if you get the device and it doesn't get connected, then we'll communicate with you and ask you to connect it, or do you still want to use the device? You can send it back to us, and we can put you in another
Great
program.
idea. So if I'm a good driver, I'm going to pay less. It's a way to refine the underwriting.
Exactly. It helps underwriting, and claims. Probably you could see if they get into an accident, you might be able to read what sort of went on.
That's true.
So
you know more about that accident, maybe a few minutes before, if he was doing something bizarre. I wonder if that's discoverable. It probably is.
I don't know. You're the attorney, Jay.
Probably is. So if, the lawyers, the judge, and all get together on a personal injury claim or something, they're going to want that. They know that exists. They're going to want that. It'd be very interesting. But how'd you get the idea? It's a good idea.
It's some people, I think there are mainland companies that had come out with it. And once again, DTRIC is a very creative company, and we pride ourselves. Well, we have the support of our majority shareholder, who's a large Japanese corporation. Actually, I think the seventh largest in the world.
That. Yes. What's the name of it?
Iowa Nisei Doa.
Okay, that.
Okay, that. We're very autonomous, right? So with our new president, Michelle Saito, she really enables us.
You met her here in ThinkTech,
Oh, okay, great. She really is open to ideas and enables the people of DTRIC to come up with new and innovative products, and if it makes sense, she'll let us run with it.
Well, it's not just that you have the Akamai Raider and the Cyber One product. It's a state of mind.
Yes.
It's a state of mind that says, you know, the world is changing. We like change. We like to follow change. We think we can be more competitive if we do that. We're always going to be pushing the envelope and reading the tea leaves. and so I guess what this tells me is that there will be other products that come down the pike, including improvements of these products, that you're going to want to roll out because the underwriting is better, the information is better, the service is better using computers.
Yes, I mean, I think that's something we're always looking for and on top of, and we'll give it a try and see what happens. And certainly with all of our customers, we want to be able to keep up with the times and provide them with insurance. I mean, insurance is sometimes seen as a necessary evil, but it's so important.
Well, insurance companies should partner, you know, who bails you out when necessary.
Yep, so as new needs arise, we plan on being there for them.
So on the case of the Akamai Raider, I'm just thinking, you know, this is relatively new technology, and great that somebody thought of it and then wrote it out and programmed the thing to work in a little box. But it can't be 5 years old. It's probably more like 2 years old in the world. And so the question is, if it's young like that, there'll be version 2 and 3 and 4 and 5.
Yes, I mean, I think
How are you
we've
gonna do that?
actually, since the time we launched, we've updated the device and the web page content, and as things evolve, we'll continue to update and add and subtract when things no longer work as well. So it's constantly evolving.
And the algorithm too. If I have more data coming through this box that I can always updating at periodic times, then I can make better underwriting decisions on this particular driver. It's so
Right.
interesting.
That's right.
The world is your oyster. I mean, underwriting has changed so much because of the the availability of additional data.
Oh, additional data, predictive analytics in underwriting. Really, it's the heart of the future of underwriting is data. It's so different even from when I started.
So this is kind of a situation, sort of like the commercial line concept in general. Here's your regular insurance, you know, your conventional insurance. In this case, it'd be auto insurance. And your agent says to the customer, you know, we have this new product by which you can save money. If you want the new product, Akamai Rater, it's out of rate, R-A-T, Rater.
Right.
Check the box, right? It's an option, isn't it? It's not an absolute.
Right. Right now, Akamai Raider is sold through our call center. So customers can go to DTRIC.com or call straight into our contact center. And when they ask for a personal auto insurance quote, we will give them not only a quote for Akamai Raider, but our other, I guess would be traditional insurance products. And so they can make the best decision for them and their family.
Okay, now I'm dad, and I know the Raider is in the car. And young son John, going out on a date, wants to impress his friends. Ooh, okay. So I worry about him. And he has one friend that provokes him. I worry about him. I would like to know how well he drives. So I call up. I say, Danielle, I need to know how John is driving. Can you send me a printout of what you got from the box? What happens?
Okay, so DTRIC, like I said, we do not keep that personal information. However, Dad can go online, he can sign on to the website where he'll have his information stored, and he can see John's car and how he's driving and what his score is, and then he can, if it's good, he can congratulate his son. If it's not so good, he can explain to him the realities of how his insurance costs might go up if his son does not
So
improve
he can see what you see.
No, see, we don't see it. That's because of the
Oh, it just goes into the
privacy laws.
algorithm.
Exactly.
But Dad can see what John is doing.
Dad can pull up and see what John is doing.
Yeah. One more thought about this, is that, the police in many states now are by requirement wearing cameras. They used to wear microphones, now they wear
Yes.
little cameras, especially in highway patrol situations, right? And so, there's a record made back at the patrol house. There's a record made of exactly what happens with that police car. In fact, what the cop is doing when he gets out and starts talking to the suspect, if you will. And video is ubiquitous. And I'm wondering, you're not going to know the answer, but I'm wondering if this kind of technology could go further. And at my option, you're not going to put it in without me agreeing.
Right.
But you could have a video of my moves in the car too. And, it may not, we're not going to set it up so it's invasive, but it might be a good record for exactly how I'm driving. And going back to that point of accident, it might tell the story very accurately about what happened, like with the cop in that accident. Who knows what will happen, but video is so cheap and wireless is so doable that this may happen. It makes your mind spin. And while my mind is spinning, why don't we take a short break?
Okay.
Unspinning our minds here on Community Matters, because it does. And commercial lines are not for sissies. And also Stamping Out Risk with DTRIC Insurance and Danielle Finn. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm your host on ThinkTech Asia, Bill Sharp. I look forward to you joining us each Monday between 4 and 5 o'clock when we film right here in our studio in downtown Honolulu. The show, ThinkTech Asia, focuses on contemporary events in Asia. And by Asia, we mean anything from Hawaii, south to Australia and New Zealand, west to Pakistan, and as far north as the Russian Far East. Clearly, this is one of the most economically dynamic centers of the world, and we bring you up to date on what's going on in a whole host of countries in this very vital region. We look forward to seeing you. Aloha.
Okay, we're back here with Danielle Finn. She's Vice President Commercial Lines of DTRIC, right here in Honolulu.
Yes.
And DTRIC's doing stuff. I appreciate. You're doing stuff. You're active, and it's a good thing. I like to see local companies do that. In fact, I like to see local companies, period. Because if we didn't watch out, mainland companies would eat our lunch on everything.
That's right.
we have to preserve and protect our local companies. It's
Absolutely.
really important.
It is.
Otherwise, every entrepreneur would be working for somebody else. Not good. So the idea is, not to use the old Allstate gesture, but it's been misused.
Right.
But you're trying to protect the small business guy, and thus to keep him in business, and thus to tell his family that it's good to be in small business, and thus to tell his kids they can stay here, and they can inherit that business, and it's not going to wreck them or anything.
Yes. Stay home and do very well for Hawaii and the community.
Yeah, small business is the key to that for
That's
a lot
right.
of people. So how can you help in a general sense with commercial lines? You've got to have insurance. The landlord, for example, will require you to have property insurance and
Yes.
I think liability.
Liability.
Too. Yeah. But, how do you handle that? And what else do you need? And what do you say to a customer who comes in and says, I've just started a small business. Danielle, tell me, what do I need?
Okay. Well, the small business owner, our commercial products are sold exclusively through our independent agency partners. So just about every insurance agency in the state of Hawaii we work with. So they'll talk to their agent and talk about the type of business. It's really important.
So the agents go out and talk
Yes.
to the customers,
Yes.
and then they order the insurance from you.
Yes, so the agent will take a look at the customer, what their needs are, and usually go out to several different insurance companies and ask them to quote the property, the liability. If you have employees, it's statutory that you cover them for workers' compensation. If you want extra protection, you can get a commercial umbrella, all these different options. So the agents send that to us at DTRIC, and then we'll take a look at the customer and look and see what kind of coverages they want. We'll price it up, look at what kinds of things they're doing to control their losses, and if they have certain plans in place, we might be able to add credits. As you know, insurance is highly regulated, so we've got to keep with our
Every
filed
product
rates.
has to be approved,
Yes,
yeah.
approved by the Department of Insurance.
Yeah.
That's also been very supportive of DTRIC and these innovative products,
Yeah,
and,
good.
and letting us
Oh,
roll
sure.
them out.
These products you're talking about, the Cyber One and the Akamai Raider, they had to be approved by the Department of Insurance.
Yes,
The
they
policy and the rates and all that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so now you're offering this. Do you have a mix and match situation where, the agent finds that he likes one product that you offer, but he likes your competitor's product for some other kind of coverage? So he gives a sort of a bundle of products from this source and that source. Doesn't matter.
Yes,
Happens, yeah.
happens all the time. We'll write one part of, we might do the package policy, which can include the property, the liability, and the commercial auto, and another, one of our competitors might do the work comp, or vice versa, or they really like DTRIC services in workers' comp claims and our loss control, which more than any other line, I think workers' comp lends itself to loss control, really protecting the employees of a company, because they're the lifeblood.
Yeah.
Right.
They gotta work.
So, yes, so the agent takes a look at it all, presents the different options to the customer, and then the customer can choose which company. So yes, we all share a lot of
Okay,
times.
to what degree is this computerized? I mean, it seems to me that the trend has to be toward computerizing everything. In the old days, it was kind of a chore to go get insurance, file an application, send it in the mail, and maybe you hear it tomorrow, maybe you hear it 2 weeks, But now, you stand at the counter, and you or the clerk is typing, and fill out the application online, and underwriting is done very quickly, and you're covered, I don't know how fast, but fast. Tell me how that has, entered into the business.
Right. I think, insurance as a whole, and especially for the smaller companies, technology is certainly the key. I would
It's
say
the great leveler.
I would say we're, as far as processing, we're a little more behind the times than we could be. And us and all our competitors, that's really one of our top priorities, is getting. But really, the applications come in. Personal auto, like I said, is a little more, they can be sent in, the agent can write it online. Commercial, because the exposures are so vast, right? It takes a little longer to underwrite. It comes in, we're looking at many different lines of businesses, comes into our system, we're calculating things. We do have algorithms that we'll run things through. We look at we do loss analysis, look at trends of a client, and then we'll try to put together the most competitive package that we can.
Yeah, that's so interesting. So it's sort of, I've always felt that if you made an algorithm sophisticated enough, you could do everything. Like, why have a jury? Why have a judge? You put all the facts in, you put all the law in, you push a button, and it finds them guilty or innocent, or it awards damages, whatever it is. You just got to put all the rules against all the facts and have the algorithm apply. And, that's not going to happen in our lifetimes. Don't worry.
Right.
But maybe in insurance, it can go further, because it's an underwriting thing. So you can take all the factors and all the possibilities and the loss history, and you're rating the business as against losses in that industry, that sector, and then you push a button. The algorithm, which is huge, and approved by 27 people in the company, push a button and bang, there's your underwriting right there. How close are we to that?
I don't think, like I said earlier, there's predictive analytics. I don't think we're really close, and it's a little worrisome in some respects, because I think underwriting, well, yes, we crunch numbers, and it's certainly a lot of math goes into it, and actuarial data. It's still an art. There's part of it
Yes.
that's really
It's
an art
yes.
and experience and
Look
understanding.
deeply into my eyes. Yeah.
Right. So, if you computerize all that, it kind of takes out the human element of it, and being able to really understand a client and make an exception when an exception makes sense.
Yeah.
if everything falls through computer, there are no gray areas. There are no exceptions. So, while we think it's definitely going to be a great tool, when you get to know your customer and what their exposures are, you can really outline a program that really meets.
I think it works two ways, too. It's sort of like a banker, although bankers are generally very uptight about these things. But you know, so you're looking deeply in somebody's eyes, and the algorithm tells you, don't cover them.
Mm-hmm.
But you look in there and you find that maybe this is going to be okay. You know, you see a certain je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais quoi. I like that.
In his eyes, you know, in his demeanor, and it sort of puts all the facts together for you in a way that only a human sensibility can appreciate.
That's right.
And then you say, you know, I'm going to take a chance on this guy. It's okay.
Right. In insurance, you know, stuff happens. People are going to have a claim, sometimes a very large claim. And if you've seen a business that's operated profitably for a number of years and paid their premiums and done everything right, and an accident happens, you know, you got to take a look at that and say, okay, was that a shock loss, a one-time thing? And you can't, a lot of times, see, if you were to punch that in a computer, they would say, whoa, their loss ratio is up here. But that's where a human can come in to make I think a better decision.
And that's where a local company can come
Yes.
in with a human. I mean, there's stories all along the road about guys who've been covered by this is car insurance now, but covered by the same company for decades, 30, 40, who knows, a lifetime, and never a claim, okay? One claim, bingo, you're out. You know,
Right.
Or whatever the rule is, with a very hard-nosed kind of mathematical approach. So we can do better than that on a human level. I mean, after all, quality of life here and elsewhere, but especially here, is a matter of, you know, human beings
That's right.
reacting. So, so how did you get into this job, Danielle?
Oh, you know, it's kind of funny. I grew up actually in Los Angeles and been in insurance, kind of fell into it like most insurance people. Very few young people say, I want to get into insurance. We're hoping to change that.
Yeah.
Was actually just looking for a part-time job while I was in college and walked into an insurance office and they hired me in their file room, and I've been in it ever since, believe it or not. But
And that's how many years, if I could ask?
over 20. Over
Okay.
20.
Oh, God. I would not have guessed that.
Oh, okay, thank you. So one day, you know, I was kind of at a time in my life and I got a call from a recruiter, and I'd done business on Hawaii risks from the mainland. Really loved Hawaii, loved coming out here and working with the people, but got a call one day from a recruiter saying, hey, there's this little company in Hawaii. They're looking for a commercial underwriting.
Little company with a funny name.
With a funny name, and you know, the first thing I did was they said, would you like to talk to him? I said, why the heck not? Absolutely. Went online, saw the green hair, the dude, said, you know what, this company seems to have a lot of character, and got talking to them, and I just loved the freedom of DTRIC. A couple months later, I was on a plane. Loved my life in Hawaii. It couldn't have turned out better. The opportunities, like I said earlier, DTRIC is very creative. It's kind of a little bit like the Wild Wild West. You know, not your typical insurance company.
Yeah. Well, you have
and
that quality of life every day.
Right, and I just felt I fit in really well. I love the people in Hawaii. I love the pace of Hawaii, and so got very lucky.
And now look, ThinkTech.
ThinkTech.
Okay, so I would like you to turn to that camera. That's our camera 2.
Okay.
Okay, and there's a bunch of kids there in a picture.
Okay.
So you're talking to them.
All right.
They'll be listening to
The
you.
future entrepreneurs of Hawaii.
Yeah, and future, right, business people and also possible insurance executives too,
Okay.
okay, who may want to work for DTRIC just like you.
All right.
Okay, so tell them about insurance and what it means in our society and in our islands.
Okay. Especially for a place like Hawaii, where the exposures are unique. I mean, you think of this season's hurricane with El Nino and everything, you know, all the storms that have been coming up. Luckily, we've been very blessed and we haven't had a direct impact. But I think insurance is there when you need it most. As a business owner, you put your heart and soul, your finances into your business. And when something happens, that's where insurance can really step in, take care of you, restore you back to the place you were before an accident or a hurricane, or someone gets hurt, even hurt on your property. Also, what's very important is the defense that comes with when you have a liability insurance policy. That comes with it. Our defense counsel will protect you. A lot of times claims can be, let's say, frivolous, and we'll step in, it picks up those expenses, and that's really, insurance is here to serve the greater community as a whole, so.
So it's a good job. They might consider that,
They might.
yeah?
It's,
Okay, well, I still can't make up my mind. It was, first it was commercial lines are not for sissies. And then it was stamping out business risk with DTRIC. And, what was the third one I thought? I forgot.
okay, well,
Something you said made me think of it, though. The point is that, oh yeah, insurance doesn't have to be a dirty word.
that's right. Hey, perfect.
Thank you very much, Danielle.
Thank you, Jay. My
Talk
pleasure.
soon.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Aloha.
Aloha.